Call this meeting of the Municipal Council to order at 7 p.m. Please stand and join me in a salute to the flag. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. At this time, I'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes of September 24th, 2019.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Also at this time, I'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes of September 17th, 2019.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, at this time, I'd entertain, requires a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes. At this time, I'd entertain a motion to approve the records of October 1st, 2019.
Second.
Thank you. Motion is in order. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, voice vote is required. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Motion passes. We have one public hearing this evening. Mr. Withers, would you kindly read the notice of the first public hearing?
Yes, this is a public hearing relative to an application from Azra Kadir of Lexington, Mass. for a Class II license for 97 Emery Street LLC to buy and sell secondhand motor vehicles with 5 customer parking spaces and 12 display spaces.
Thank you. Is there anyone here to speak in favor?
My name is Nash Qadir. I'm representing the applicant. This is in regards to 97 Emery Street, which is currently, up until May, was a used car dealership and a car repair shop. The owner had some issues and then they closed the business down. So my client ended up buying it. So we were asking for this similar, very same situation, same number of display parking and same number of customer parking, and the resale.
Okay, great. Blair?
Good. Did your person you represent buy the property, sir?
No, we have they have a purchase and sales, and one of the contingencies that they put on is to get the license for a class.
So if the license is granted, they will go through with the purchase of the property?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Council Dolan?
Do you own any other dealerships anywhere else?
Yes, my brother owns a dealership in Attleboro.
Which one is that?
411 Washington Street, South Attleboro Auto Sales.
Oh, isn't that for sale?
The property is for sale. My brother leases it from the current owner.
Oh, okay.
Tell me which one that is?
The one on the corner, it's like up on
Up
a
the hill.
hill
Okay, yep.
by McDonald's,
Yep.
across from McDonald's.
Yep. Okay, thank you.
Precarious place. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Thank you. Is there anyone else here to speak in favor? Anyone here to speak in opposition? Anyone to speak in opposition? Anyone neither for nor against? Council Dolan, do you see any reason to keep this public hearing open?
I do not.
Thank you. This public hearing is closed, and we will move right along to
Mayor's communication.
the mayor's communication. But I gotta find
Okay,
it.
you'll need to bear with me. There's a lot of reading tonight. So, October 15, 2019, dear municipal councilors, I respectfully submit a communication from Veterans Agents Ken Badicher regarding a donation of $300 in Stop and Shop gift cards from the DAV Chapter 91. In accordance with Section 1-12 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro, I hereby request your honorable body to accept this generous donation to the City of Attleboro. Copies in your packets.
City Property and Plans Committee, please.
I respectfully submit a communication from Chief of Police Kyle P. Hegney regarding the need for funds to cover the cost of conducting a promotional assessment center for the rank of sergeant for about 13 to 15 candidates. This request is needed due to the anticipated retirement of a sergeant after 37 years of service on the department and the need to promote an officer to the rank of sergeant. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body transfer $15,000 from account Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer to account Police Professional Services. In addition, a police officer vacancy will occur because of the sergeant promotion, and there will be a need to backfill the vacant police officer position. Additional funding will be needed to train and outfit a new police recruit. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body to transfer $6,199 from account reserve fund for transfer to the following: $3,700 to account police academy tuition, $1,000 to account police uniforms, $1,499 to account police medical consultation. Upon approval, the available balance in reserve fund for transfer to include any pending requests will be $111,966.23. Copies in your packets.
Public Safety and Emergency Management Committee, please.
I respectfully submit a communication from Superintendent of Park and Forestry, Derek Corsi, regarding a donation of 28 gallons of exterior paint with a total value of approximately $1,500 from Sherwin-Williams Paints. In accordance with Section 1-12 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro, I hereby request your honorable body to accept this generous donation to the City of Attleboro. Copies in your packets.
City Property and Claims Committee, please.
I respectfully submit a communication from Superintendent of Park and Forestry, Derek Corsi, regarding the need to replenish funds expended during the August 2019 microburst. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body to transfer $7,000 from account Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer to account Park Overtime. Upon approval, the available balance to include any pending requests will be $104,966.23. Copies in your packets.
City Property and Claims Committee, please.
The City of Attleboro is in need of replacing equipment and vehicles in the Department of Public Works Highway Division, as identified in the City of Attleboro Capital Improvements Program for fiscal year 20 through 2024. Superintendent Michael Tyler is requesting the replacement of the following equipment/vehicle: a dump truck, 6 to 8 yard. The cost is $150,267. A dump truck, 1 ton, cost 2 of those. The total cost is $145,028. One backhoe at $159,100. One street sweeper at $235,000, and one Ford Explorer hybrid at $44,000. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body to approve the following loan order. Ordered that $734,000 be appropriated for the cost of purchasing and equipping Public Works Department vehicles/equipment, that to meet this appropriation, the treasurer, with the approval of the mayor, is authorized to borrow $734,000 under Section 7, subsection 1 of Chapter 44 of the general laws. Any premium received by the city upon the sale of any bonds or notes approved by this order, less any such premium applied to the payment of the costs of issuance of such bonds or notes, may be applied to the payment of costs approved by this vote in accordance with Chapter 44, Section 20 of the general laws, thereby reducing the amount authorized to be borrowed to pay such costs by a like amount.
Public Works Committee, please, and Council Jackson, would you like to?
Public hearing on November 19th.
You got it.
Thank you.
All in favor? Wait, hold on one second. Who's second? You. Okay, hold on, let me get my notes straight from my friend in the back.
A lot of money.
It is. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, motion passes.
Just for my clarification, what's the date on that?
November 19th.
November 19th. Thank you. Okay. As you are aware, the city is in need of replacing vehicles in the fire department, as identified in the City of Attleboro Capital Improvements Program for fiscal year 2020 through 2024. The fire chief is in need of replacing a frontline engine and rescue. The estimates for these vehicles are $648,469 and $405,000 respectively. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body to approve the following loan order. Ordered that $1,054,000 be appropriated for the cost of purchasing and equipping fire department vehicles. That to meet this appropriation, the treasurer, with the approval of the mayor, is authorized to borrow $1,054,000 under Section 7, subsection 1 of Chapter 44 of the general laws. Any premium received by the city upon the sale of any bonds or notes approved by this order, less any such premium applied to the payment of the costs of issuance of such bonds or notes, may be applied to the payment of costs approved by this vote in accordance with Chapter 44, Section 20 of the general laws, thereby reducing the amount authorized to be borrowed to pay such costs by a like amount.
Public Safety Committee, please. Councilor Blair, would you like to call for a public hearing on November 19th?
Yes.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Opposed? Motion passes. Public hearing is the 11/19.
I respectfully submit to your honorable body a proposal from MGT Consulting Group to complete a comprehensive central service cost allocation plan. The indirect rate percentages calculated from this plan will be utilized to update the indirect rates for the water and wastewater enterprise funds. Costs of this central service cost allocation plan will be shared equally between the Water Enterprise Fund, Wastewater Enterprise Fund, and general government. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body transfer the following: $2,400 from account Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer to account Citywide Professional Services. Upon approval, the available balance in the Reserve Fund for transfer to include any pending requests will be $102,566.23.
Capital Improvements and City Development Committee, please.
You want me to read the rest of it?
Oh, yeah, I do. I lost
24.
my fastball tonight.
$2,400 from account Wastewater Enterprise Fund, Reserve Fund for transfer to account Wastewater Enterprise Fund, Professional Services. Upon approval, the available balance in Reserve Fund for transfer to include any pending requests will be $25,615.14. $2,400 from account Water Enterprise Fund, Reserve Fund for transfer to account Water Enterprise Fund, Professional Services. Upon approval, the available balance in Reserve Fund for transfer to include any pending requests will be $47,600. Copies in your packets.
Now, Capital Improvements and City Development Committee, please.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. I respectfully submit a communication from City Auditor Deborah Gould regarding the need to rescind and revote Council Vote Number 11 from May 21st, 2019. As part of the analysis of fund balance for the certification of free cash request, Ms. Gould determined that a problem with the presentation of the transfer of the $200,000 for the SPED Stabilization Fund likely existed. Of specific concern was how to record the measure and present that vote on the city's fiscal year 2020 tax recapitulation. Unfortunately, raising the $200,000 within the recapitulation and the other amounts to be raised section is not the way to proceed, and the funds should be raised and appropriated in the appropriations section of the tax recapitulation. In order to properly document this transaction, the vote previously taken by your honorable body should be revisited. The proposed corrective measure will need to take place prior to the completion and submission of the fiscal year 2020 tax recapitulation. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body rescind vote number 11 from May 21st, 2019, and replace with a vote to raise and appropriate in fiscal year 2020 $200,000 to account citywide contribution to SPED Stabilization Fund. Copies in your packets.
Budget and Appropriations Committee, please.
As you may recall, on June 25th, 2019, your honorable body voted to approve the petition of Morin's Inc. to discontinue a portion of Frank Mossberg Drive. Morin's Inc. has sent a request to purchase the 7,236 square foot area on Frank Mossberg Drive as specified in Lot A as shown on the plan entitled Street Discontinuance Plan of Land in Attleboro, Mass., prepared by John D. Bremser, PLS of Hancock Associates, 183 Center Street, Danvers, Mass. 01923, dated April 8th, 2019. Pursuant to Chapter 2-11.2, Disposition of Real Property, a communication was sent to the department heads, and there was no interest in this property. It is currently assessed at $7,800. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body to hold a public hearing in accordance with Section 2-11.2 of the city ordinances to declare the 7,236 square foot area on Frank Mossberg Drive be available for disposition. Copies in your packets.
Thank you. Zoning and Land Use Committee, please. And Council Cobus, would you like to have a public hearing
On the 19th?
on 19th? Yes. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes. Just hold on a second. Steve, that's one that Virginia will just need to post. There were two, but this is a third one.
This is, yes.
Yes, but this one, the other two we talked about, but this one I don't think we.
Okay. I respectfully submit a communication from Legal Secretary Allison Wood regarding vehicles that the Department of Public Works would like to declare surplus, and hereby respectfully request your honorable body to declare the following as surplus and available for disposition. Copies in your packets. They are a 1988 International S1600 with 158,080 miles in very poor condition, and a 1993 Ford F700 with 105,881 miles in very poor condition.
City Property and Claims Committee, please.
I respectfully submit a communication from Legal Secretary Allison Wood regarding surplus items that the Fire Department would like to declare surplus, and hereby respectfully request your honorable body to declare the following as surplus and available for disposition. Copies in your packets. The first is a Canon Image Runner 2105 in poor condition, a Canon Image Runner 2200 in poor condition, a Ricoh MP 2852 in poor condition. We have a positive pressure ventilation fan, Super Vac model number 720041, GX-160 Honda, 5.5 horsepower, in poor condition. It's considered a safety hazard.
Bless you.
City Property and Claims Committee, please.
During the preparation of the annual budgets, the assessors across the Commonwealth provide budget officials with a preliminary estimate of the new growth increase in the community's Proposition 2.5 levy limit, so that the preliminary limit can be calculated and a revenue estimate established. However, boards of assessors are then required to report final new growth each year as part of setting the tax rate. I have been informed that the Department of Revenue, Division of Local Services, has officially certified fiscal year 2020 new growth at $778,771, which is $278,771 greater than the preliminary estimate carried in the fiscal year 2020 budget. Therefore, I am hereby requesting that your honorable body approve a supplemental appropriation in the amount of $278,771 excuse me, to account Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer. Upon approval, the available balance in Reserve Fund for transfer to include any pending requests will be $381,337.23. Again, in order to properly reflect this measure on the fiscal year 2020 tax recapitulation, it is necessary to vote this matter prior to the submission of the fiscal year 2020 tax rate.
Budget and Appropriations Committee, please.
For your information, the city was notified by the Department of Revenue on October 9th, 2019 of our general fund free cash approval in the Water and Wastewater Enterprise Fund retained earnings for fiscal year 29 as follows. General Fund, $3,828,290. Water Enterprise Fund, $1,253,522. Wastewater Enterprise Fund, $1,367,772. As you may recall, on October 16th, 2012, vote number 11, your honorable body unanimously supported a cash reserve policy that, among other things, identified two clear goals. One, establish a target balance for the city's stabilization fund, and two, develop a schedule of annual appropriations designed to gradually reach and sustain the target balance for the city's stabilization fund over time. In keeping with that cash reserve policy each year for the past 7 years, your honorable body has approved the mayor's request to appropriate $282,000 into the city's stabilization fund. I am now proud to submit your honorable body a request for the 8th contribution of $300,000. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body to appropriate $300,000 from account undesignated fund balance free cash general government to account citywide stabilization fund.
Budget and Appropriations Committee, please.
I am recommending the following items listed below from the City of Attleboro Capital Improvements Program for fiscal year 2019 through 2023, and hereby request your honorable body appropriate $460,000 from account undesignated fund balance free cash general government to accounts as follows. $280,000 to Fund 3429, which is the Hyman Fine / Hill Roberts Gym Floors, and $180,000 to Fund 3428, Elementary School Parking Lots.
Capital Improvements and City Development Committee, please.
In order to bring the annual funding contribution for general government equal to that of the city's two enterprise funds, I am increasing the general fund contribution to OPEB by $15,000. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body appropriate $15,000 from account undesignated fund balance free cash general government to account personnel OPEB.
Budget and Appropriations Committee, please.
I respectfully submit a communication from the Director of Recreation, Dennis Walsh, regarding the need for funds for the repaving of the front parking lot at Finburg Field, which is in the final phase of the DEP mandated remediation project at Finburg Field. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body appropriate $75,500 from account undesignated fund balance free cash general government to Fund 3548 Finburg Field. Copies in your packets.
Public Works Committee, please.
As promised, I have established a new reserve fund for capital in the citywide section of the fiscal year 2020 general government budget, and I'm hereby requesting that your honorable body appropriate $500,000 into this new account. It is my intention to utilize this fund for capital improvement needs throughout the fiscal year. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body appropriate $500,000 from accounts undesignated fund balance, free cash, general government, to account citywide reserve fund for capital.
Capital Improvements and City Development Committee, please.
Sincerely, Paul Haru, Mayor.
Thank you.
And we have a bunch of other communications. The first is a communication from Kimberly Redland Zioli of 150 Augsburg Drive regarding the dangerous conditions for exiting and entering Augsburg Drive as it intersects with Slater Street.
Transportation and Traffic Committee, please.
The next is a Class 2 application from Michael Meyer of 8 Rathbone Willard Drive, Attleboro, for Bristol County Auto Sales, LLC, at 227 Pine Street with 10 customer parking spaces and 10 display spaces.
Steve, I think what we'll do is we'll just waive the, unless anybody objects, all of these are license renewals, and they're all going to the License Committee. Does anybody object to waiving the reading of the other communications?
Thank you, President Cooper.
Would you kindly only read the last number 2? That's also a public,
Yes.
little bit of a public service.
And we also have a
announcement, so I
request for a
appreciate
permit from the American Legion Post 312 of South Attleboro to solicit donations for the annual Poppy Drive on Saturday, November 9th at various locations through South Attleboro. The rain date is November 16th, 2019.
that. Thank you. That is also going to the License Committee.
And that is all.
Thank you. And at this time, I'd entertain a motion to enter Committee of the Whole.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you, motion passes. If there's anyone here that would like to address the council on any piece of city business, now's the time to do it. Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion to arise.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you. And we will go right on to committee reports, beginning first with Council Jackson.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Reporting for the Public Works Committee from the docket of October 15, 2019. I move to approve the request of the mayor to transfer $14,700 from the citywide reserve fund for transfer account to the Public Works Professional Services to complete the state mandated emergency action plan for Farmers Pond Dam and Mechanics Pond Dam. Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any?
Thank you. No, we discussed this last week in committee.
Great. Any other comments or questions? Seeing none, a roll call vote is required, and we'll begin with Council Jackson.
Ms. Jackson?
Yes.
Mr. Waterman?
Yes.
Mr. Conti?
Yes.
Mr. Cobus?
Yes.
Vice President Perica?
Yes.
Mr. Delicio?
Yes.
Ms. Dolan?
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes.
Ms. Holmes?
Yes.
Mr. Blair?
Yes.
President Cooper?
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. From the docket of October 15, 2019, I move to approve the request of the mayor to transfer $8,484.86 from the wastewater enterprise fund reserve fund for transfer account to the wastewater enterprise fund bills from previous year's account to pay for a fiscal year 19 invoices from CDM Smith.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any comments?
Thank you. No, we discussed this as well last week. It's just to pay for a previous year's bill.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, a roll call vote is required, and we'll begin with Council Blair.
Mr. Blair?
Yes.
Ms. Holmes?
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes.
Ms. Dolan?
Yes.
Mr. Delicio?
Yes.
Vice President Perica?
Yes.
Mr. Cobus?
Yes.
Mr. Conti?
Yes.
Mr. Waterman?
Yes.
Ms. Jackson?
Yes.
President Cooper?
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. From the docket of October 15, 2019, I move to approve the request of the mayor regarding the expending of funds from the Peckham Street Culvert Replacement Grant from the Division of Ecological Restoration for $28,500 to collect field data to replace the culvert. In accordance with Chapter 1, Section 12 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro, this council approves expending of such funds in any future grant amendments.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any comments?
Thank you. I'm just very grateful to the Division of Ecological Restoration for putting us up in the 5% to replace this culvert, and I welcome any other grants to the City of Attleboro.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, a roll call vote is required, and we'll begin with Council Jackson.
Ms. Jackson?
Yes.
Mr. Waterman?
Yes.
Mr. Conti?
Yes.
Mr. Cobus?
Yes.
Vice President Perica?
Yes.
Mr. Delicio?
Yes.
Ms. Dolan?
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes.
Ms. Holmes?
Yes.
Mr. Blair?
Yes.
President Cooper?
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you, President Cooper. I have no further business this evening for the Public Works Committee, but I would like to call for a committee meeting at the appropriate time in 2 weeks, because I will not be in attendance next week, but I would like to handle my own
Perfect.
business. Yes, thank you.
Council Waterman.
Is reporting from the Personnel and Human Services Committee from the docket of October 15th, 2019. I would entertain the following motion.
I move to confirm the appointment of Andrew Wayland, 39 Emerald Lane, to fill an unexpired term on the Council of Substance Abuse Prevention, term to expire February 2020.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any comments?
I would just like to say that Mr. Wayland is pharmacist at Fuller Hospital. I think he will be an excellent addition to the substance abuse. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Thank you. This requires a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Motion passes.
And that concludes the business this evening of the Personnel and Human Services Committee. I'd like to call the next meeting at the next appropriate time.
Great, thank you. Councilor Conti.
Mr. President, the Capital Improvement City Development Committee has no business to report to the council this evening, but we look forward to a meeting at the next appropriate time.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Cobus.
Zoning and Land Use doesn't have any business tonight, but calls for a committee meeting at the next appropriate time.
Thank you. Vice President Fricka.
Traffic and Transportation does not have any business this evening and look forward to a meeting at the next appropriate.
Thank you.
Appropriations has no business tonight, and we'll call for a meeting at the next appropriate time.
Councilor Dolan.
I have
You're
a
up.
couple things. Reporting for the License Committee, I have three motions from the docket of October 15, 2019. I move to approve the Class 2 application from Manuel Amaral of 23 Morris Avenue, Attleboro, for Tri-Town Auto Sales at 1850 County Street with 4 customer parking spaces and 6 display spaces.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any questions or comments?
No, we discussed this in committee.
Great. Any other comments? Seeing none, a voice vote is required. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Motion passes.
From the docket of October 15, 2019, I move to approve the Class 3 application from Manuel Amaral of 23 Morris Avenue, Attleboro, for Tri-Town Auto Sales at 1850 County Street with 4 customer parking spaces and 6 display spaces.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any questions or comments?
Nope, discussed in committee last week.
Any from anyone else? Seeing none, a voice vote is required. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Motion passes.
From the docket of October 1st, 2019, I move to approve the requested signature from the City Council for Norton Parks and Recreation Director Sharon Rice for the October 27, 2019 detour at Route 123 for Norton's annual Halloween parade.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any comments?
We did discuss this last week as well, and they all have all their signatures, right? So we should be good. I don't have any further comments.
Great. Any other questions or comments? Voice vote is required. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Motion passes.
That's all the business for the License Committee tonight, and I look forward to a committee meeting at the next appropriate time.
Great. Council Reynolds.
Reporting for City Property and Claims Committee, from the docket of October 15th, 2019. I move to approve the request of the mayor to transfer $35,420 from account 1124-1000-578300 Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer to account 1124-1000-587054 Citywide Boiler Replacement to replace both 20-year-old boilers at City Hall.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any comments?
I do have a very brief comments. I don't want to belabor the point and angst of this motion, but I would like to thank my committee members, Councilor Blair and Holmes, for all their support during this debacle. I'd also like to thank Councilor Kobus and Parika for the additional research and support that they offered this committee, which we greatly needed. I want to suggest that we as the City Council have to follow protocol, and as such, we were only doing the job we are elected to do. Clearly, if the administration had been more open and receptive to the City Council's requests for detailed information, this emergency measure, this purchase versus repair process, would have run much more smoothly, and the decision-making would have been much more transparent and less of a sideshow. So I thank those councilors that supported me in my request for detailed information, and it meant a lot to me at the time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, this requires a roll call vote, and we'll begin with Councilor Blair.
Mr. Blair,
Yes.
Ms. Holmes,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
Yes.
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Mr. Delissio,
Yes.
Vice President Parika,
Yes.
Mr. Kobus,
Yes.
Mr. Conti,
Yes.
Mr. Waterman,
Yes.
Ms. Jackson,
Yes.
President Cooper.
Yes,
11 yeas, 0 nays.
thank you, motion passes.
From the docket of October 15th, 2019, I move to accept the generous donation of a Yamaha YPG-235-76 portable keyboard with an estimated value of $280 and a Pile PTED-017 pad drum machine with an approximate value of $130 to the Coelho Music Class from Kyle Harris.
Second.
Thank you, motion's in order, any comments? Any questions from the council? This requires a voice vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, motion passes.
And that is all the business for City Property and Claims Committee. I would like to call a committee meeting at the next appropriate time.
Council Holmes?
Thank you. Ordinance Election Legislative Matter Committee has no business this evening, but we'll call for a committee meeting at the next appropriate time.
Excellent.
Public Safety Emergency Management has no business this evening, but would like to call for a committee meeting next week at the appropriate time.
Great, thank you. There is no old business, there's no new business. Before we adjourn, there is a special meeting notice you all received, yes? For November 12th. And with that, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. We are adjourned 7:32.
It's got to be a
Record.